Well, today I thought I would go for a ride, and let's do a little bit of talking about why do people ride a bike? Why do I ride a bike? Well, it started quite a while ago when I was a pretty young guy, you know, around 10, 11 years old. This guy rolled into our neighborhood, a young kid, and he was on a Cushman scooter. And it just, I thought, well, wow, I've got a bicycle, and I used to put these little playing cards with clothespins on my bike, and the spokes would go make some noise, sound like a motorcycle. I kind of like being on a motorcycle. I like the sound of a motorcycle. I saw this Cushman, and I thought, that's the ticket. I need a motor on my bicycle. So then I started looking at these scooters, and not Cushman scooters, but the ones with like the Briggs & Stratton engine, you know, the lawnmower engines on it. And that really that was pretty cool, but you know, we didn't have a lot of money, and so I wasn't able to get one. So when I turned around 15 years old, I started looking around at what kind of motorcycles are out there. And when my family went to like Sears, that was a department store back then, that we would be in there for something, and I would roll by the motorcycles. They sold motorcycles at Sears. There were Bridgestone motorcycles, and they had a motorcycle. It was like I think it was 150 cc's. That was their big one, and they were pretty cool. So I checked them out there, and I checked them at the Firestone dealer. They sold them also. But then I started looking at the Japanese motorcycles that were out there. They were all two strokes. And the biggest one that Honda had was a 305 cc's. I'm not sure how big Harleys were back there, but they weren't that big. You know, maybe, I don't know if they were even 883s back then, but they might have been. And I was looking at the Suzuki's and the Yamahas, and their biggest bikes were 250 cc's, but those were a little bit too pricey for me. The job that I had back then, I was a bagger at a grocery store, so I didn't make very much money for buying a bike like that. And of course there was no used motorcycle market. So when I turned 16, I decided I wanted to buy a particular bike, and I did my research. I looked at the Suzuki's. In fact, that's where I test rode my very first motorized bicycle, my first motorcycle, and that was an 80 cc motorcycle. It's a two-stroke. You have to mix the gas and oil, and that was pretty cool. I actually practiced while I was sitting down, working my feet, my hands, and going through the shifting before I actually got on the bike. And so it worked out pretty good. I didn't have any trouble. I already kind of knew how to drive a stick shift in a car, so it was very similar. After that, I looked at the Honda, and Honda had a 90 cc, so a bigger bike. And that one, let me get through this light here, or this intersection, and that one was pretty good. That was a bit faster than the 80 cc Suzuki, but that one you also had to mix the gas and oil. And then Yamaha, they came out with a 100 cc motorcycle with auto lube. It was the first introduction of auto lube, and you didn't have to mix the oil with the gas. did it for you. And on top of that, it had dual exhaust. And I thought, oh, that's a ticket right there. Dual exhaust, 2 cylinders, 100 cc's, faster than those other 2 bikes. I had to get it. So I went to my dad and I said, hey, listen, I was thinking about getting a motorcycle, but and at this time I got a new job. My new job was a lifeguard. I was a senior lifeguard at our high school pool. Still not making a lot of money, but I had a job. And I asked my dad, I says, I want to buy a motorcycle, and I can use that for going back and forth to school, and you know, I wouldn't have to borrow the car so much, and I use all kinds of excuses. And he said, did you tell your mom or ask your mom? And I says, no. And he says, okay, well, let's get in the car, let's go check them out. So needless to say, he helped me buy it, and that was my first motorcycle. And that was the reason why I got into riding motorcycles, is I like the idea of having a bicycle. I love riding my bicycle, and having a motor on it was that was the ticket right there. So from that point, I had a few bikes, some dirt bikes and things like that, but then I kind of got out of motorcycling for a while because of, you know, life, raising a family, working, that kind of stuff. So right around 2000, I started looking at bikes again, and in 2002 I got back into biking, and primarily I use riding a bike not to get from point A to point B, but as therapy. Riding a bike for me is therapy. I don't know how many other motorcyclists ride their bike as therapy. I know I've heard the term wind therapy, but it's something that I enjoy doing. I'm riding today. It's a beautiful day. Just went by a cop. And was I going fast? No, I think I'm all right. Yeah, it's, I don't know, once you get on a motorcycle, it's obviously not as safe as a car. You have to concentrate, you have to do more things. You're watching everything, you know, all the other cars. When you're in an automobile, a truck or whatever, you can almost zone out and ride around, and you've got all the protection with airbags, seat belts, all that kind of stuff. And you don't have that on a motorcycle, but you don't have that freedom on a motorcycle or in a car like you do on a motorcycle. Also, doing little leans like this, you don't get to do that in a car either. I mean, it's fun. Now, some people say don't listen to a radio while you're on a motorcycle because you want to hear what's going on around you, and that way you don't get run over by people. Well, there's a lot of things you can do to prevent getting run over, like having decent lights on your motorcycle so you can be seen, and also pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't be in a zone. And hey, you can listen to music. I don't listen to my music that when it's so loud that I can't hear what else is going on around me. So if I hear a cop car or ambulance or something like that, I can hear that. It's not a problem. So I do like to listen to music. So I put some music on and I just start riding around, and yeah, that's the thing to do. Like today. Whoa, what's this guy doing? Oh, that was interesting. Oh, he just pulled out of his driveway. Hi there. So I use this for therapy. I'm out today. It's 59 degrees. Not bad. Got my heated seat on. I think I'll turn that off. It's a little warm. Heated grips, which are awesome. and I'm just going for a ride. And it feels good. I should be home doing some projects around the house, but I just had to get out for a little bit and go for a ride, and I thought I'd just make a little video and see why everyone else rides a bike. It's not safe, but it is fun. But for me, it's mainly therapy. So if you have any comments, please put them down below, and don't forget to subscribe, share, hit the like button. That'd be cool too. So until next time, bye.